At least 24 people have been killed so far in the Southern California wildfires. 92,000 residents of Los Angeles County are under evacuation orders. Officials are warning the public about the winds over the next few days that the National Weather Service is calling, quote, particularly dangerous. For more, let's bring in Adam Yamaguchi from Pacific Palisades, California. Adam, thanks for being here. What a tragic story. Walk us through what you're seeing and hearing on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. You can probably get a pretty good picture behind me. There's just devastation everywhere, every direction you look. We're standing at the top of a bluff here and just looking down. Really, only until I look past off in the horizon that I can see intact structures in place. But everywhere we are here, we really only see chimneys. That's the only remnant of what used to be homes for so many people here. Fire crews are on site. They're doing site surveys to ensure that there are no hot spots. You've got gas company officials as well as the Department of Power and Water officials who are out on the ground assessing, let's say, down power lines, which are plenty around here. They're trying to make sure that there are no other live wires or gas lines that are open that could potentially fuel yet another round of these fires where we are here.
Officials, as you know, keep warning now about dangerous winds expected to start early tomorrow. What are you hearing about their top concerns?
Yeah, obviously the top concern is again, the unpredictability and the ferociousness of these winds. Firefighters were able to make some progress this weekend in building containment lines around the perimeter of these active fires. They had a couple days of a reprieve. Winds came down. But as you mentioned, the Santa Ana winds are set to kick off again later this afternoon. And the National Weather Service has issued the highest level red flag alert. That's the particularly dangerous situation alert, which is set to start overnight here and go into the next day, the next evening. So fire officials are pre-positioning all of their assets and personnel in places that may see potential spark-ups or see fires jump. So that is foremost in their minds right now. It's all about the wind here.
All about the wind. Adam Yamaguchi, always appreciate your reporting from the field. Thank you very much. Now we turn to Maeve Reston, our friend who covers West Coast politics for the Washington Post. Maeve, great to see you. You've covered national politics and California for a long time. You know California well. Former President Trump, now President-elect Trump, has called on Governor Gavin Newsom to resign. And Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has received heavy criticism for her handling of the wildfires. What's your latest reporting on both the mayor and the governor as the winds start to pick up and this crisis continues?
Well, you know, we've seen these flashpoints between President-elect Trump and Gavin Newsom going all the way back to 2016. They have been rivals all the way along. And now Governor Newsom is in this very difficult situation where the new administration is about to take over in a matter of days. And Los Angeles is in complete crisis. On the campaign trail, as you know, Trump threatened to withhold funding for things like wildfires. And so at this moment, Governor Newsom is trying to strike this balance between inviting Trump to come survey the wildfire damage, you know, praising President Biden for making an immediate emergency declaration and offering, you know, federal reimbursement for everything that's being spent. But this is a very tense situation. And as Governor Newsom goes out to the fire lines and as he's, you know, walking through the rubble, he also is almost like fact-checking President-elect Trump and much of the alt-right on social media in real time, trying to push back against some of these myths or falsehoods that have come up about California's management of the fires and how things are going here. You mentioned Mayor Karen Bass. She had, you know, she's been really shouldering a lot of the criticism because she was actually in Ghana on a presidential delegation at the request of President Biden at the time that these fires took off, even though there had been warnings about these hurricane force winds that were coming. So she was was actually gone when the fires started. She rushed back, and including on a military aircraft. But she has been taking a ton of criticism on all of that. And, she's up for re-election in 2026. Gavin Newsom is obviously thinking about running for president as soon as 2028. So how they manage these crises and how the public perception of them is shaped is really going to be important in determining their futures.
Maeve, let's listen to Vice President-elect J.D. Vance talking about leaders in California.
There is a serious lack of competent governance in California, and I think it's part of the reason why these fires have gotten so bad. We need to do a better job at both the state and federal level.
Maeve, some pretty tough criticism from Senator Vance, now the Vice President-elect. What is this tension between Governor Newsom and the Trump-Vance administration as it begins next week? A signal, perhaps, about what's to come with the rebuilding effort, the federal effort, as this all plays out?
Well, I think, the amount of federal funding that is available to help with this disaster is really a big question here. President Biden only has control over funds that go out, for a certain amount of time. President Trump and Vance could revisit that. This has been, as you well know, been a constant theme on the campaign trail that, big blue states or Democratic cities with Democratic mayors aren't managing them correctly, or that they're not tough enough on criminals, things like that. And so you're seeing that divide and those criticisms be applied to this crisis. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Governor Newsom, for example, navigates that. He keeps saying that it's an open hand, not a closed fist to President-elect Trump. But Trump is really, they had a good relationship initially during the pandemic, but President-elect Trump has really rebuffed any overtures from Newsom at this point. And, there may be a lot of rebuilding dollars on the line when it comes to how they can repair that relationship and, how generous President-elect Trump wants to be with those funds. So there's a lot on a line here for a lot of people in California.
And Maeve, just quickly as we finish here, I love Los Angeles. I've been there many times in my life. What's it like to be in that area on the ground amid all of the carnage and the fire?
Well, it's just devastating being out on the fire line. And, we had all these water issues here. So you would watch like one house just ignite after another, and there would be firefighters standing in the street, and they didn't have the water resources or the manpower to fight each one of them. And then at the same time, you've got 150,000 people under some kind of evacuation warning or order. And the rest of us are, living pretty close to those lines and hearing these alerts go off on our phone all the time. So I think there is this fatigue that has settled in for everyone here, that it's just kind of mentally exhausting, wondering like how close the flames will get to your kids' school, whether to send them to school, whether it's safe for them to go outside and breathe the air. So it really is a really difficult time for everyone out here.
I know almost everybody out there has a connection to the disaster in some way. Just heartbreaking to see. Maeve Reston, appreciate your reporting. Thank you.
Thank you so much.